Okay, so today I was on my app, um, just looking at some videos, and I happened to come across this ad that offered disaster prep. And so the first thing that it said is this could be real, and it was showing pictures of a thunderstorm, lightning, hurricane, and tornadoes. And so it got me to really thinking that now we live in a time in society that we need an app for everything. We need an app to look inside our refrigerator. We need an app to um, order food offline. We need apps to uh, text friends and family who may not have the same type phone that you have. There are so many things that apps do for us that it almost makes us paralyzed. And when I saw this app, I thought, well, if there was a disaster in my area, I'm the type of person I would just look outside. I mean, I know I can't see 5 miles from here if there was a bombing or shooting. I mean, something that is affected, something that's happening by man. But if I was in my own home, I'm kind of aware of what nature was happening with nature, unless I'm asleep and like really asleep. But it's quite naturally for me to look out the window, to pay attention to what's going on, and then taking cover. The second thing I rely on is hearing the sirens in the area. Do I hear sirens? And if I hear the sirens, then I'm going to take cover and do what I have to do, get into those areas that are in my home that are safer for me and my family. So to me, seeing this type of app just seemed completely pointless. But I understand that, we live in a technology driven world where people don't look up from their cell phones, or people don't care to look up from their cell phones. So having something like this would be beneficial to them. Um, so I thought about that and I'm like, okay, disaster um, prep, being prepared in times of disaster. And it made me think about the spiritual side, the ways we are affected in this life. And it's just really life that's happening to us. But things happen it seems to come just out of the blue that we um, don't realize that they're happening until they're right up on us. For instance, with illness is a disaster that people face. Um, Also poverty, lack of food, um, and then destruction in our world. I would consider those things disasters. And how do we overcome those things is different for each occasion. But the one thing that can help solve all the problems with disaster, even with national disaster, um, things happening in your town, your city, your home, in your neighborhood, is prayer. Prayer is the only way that we can prep and be ready for the national disaster, where we can take cover. Um, and also that's relying on Jesus. That's relying on his guidance, his Holy Spirit talking to you, telling you what to do, how to take cover, how to take the safety that you need in order to survive that national disaster. Sometimes the disasters, are just temporary. It could just be a 48-hour thing. A storm blows in and in 48 hours it's gone. Sometimes there are disasters that happen that the damage after the disaster may last for a couple of months, even years, to repair the city, repair your home, pick up your life, and resume back to normal. But because of the disaster, it doesn't mean that you have to stay in that area for the rest of your life. It's just happened to be a phase that you're in. Um, on my last video, I shared that I'm facing kidney failure disease. And last week, I had an epiphany that This is just a part of my life. This is just what's happening right now. A little, well, a chapter, a section in my life, but it doesn't mean that this is forever. There is pure joy, excitement, energy, love, all those things on the other side of this. But right now, I'm taking cover. Right now, I'm being covered by Jesus in order to get through this. I have to see him as the person that's helping me, guiding me, strengthening me, taking his strength when I don't have my own, depending on his faith, depending on who he is when I don't have my own. So, disaster prep. Oh my God, that just blew my mind. I'm still on that. That we need such a thing. However, back to the basics says rely on Jesus, trust Jesus, get in there and pray and believe that he is covering you and he will cover you and he will help you see your way through. You can't go through anything just being, you know, closed minded to the situation. You have to open up your faith, open up your heart, regardless of what's going on. That's why you have the good times and you have the bad. But in the bad, you're not alone. In the bad, take cover in Jesus, trust in Jesus. So, that app really hit a nail with me that we would need a thing um, to tell us that there is a disaster happening in our area. I understand that there's things that I can't see all over the city. I can't hear all over the city. But the things within my proximity, I should be able to see and know and feel and know what's happening around me. And society has told us, you need an app to tell you exactly what's happening, what's going on around you, and that's not completely true. So I just want you to be encouraged. You may see a disaster happening on the horizon in your life right now. There may be some difficulties arising. There may be some things that you quite don't understand and you don't know your way out or how you're going to make your way out. And that's a disaster. And you have to look at it as, you know, I will survive by the help of Jesus. I will survive this by his wisdom, his light, his guidance, his love, his special care for me. What is he going to show me in this part of my life that he wouldn't be able to show me any other part of my life because I've never been in this situation before? So I just want you to be encouraged that whatever disaster you may be faced with right now, whatever the thing is that you feel that you can't get a grasp on that may be slipping in between your fingers, know that there is a disaster protection plan available and ready for you, and that is Jesus Christ. Not man, not an app. People say don't put your trust in man, or man only rely on other man instead of God. And now it's like we rely on apps and cell phones. Man is about to be scratched out of here. So I just want to encourage you, as I encourage myself, to realize the disasters that's happening around me in my life that is affecting me, and realizing that I take cover in Jesus. I take my prayers to him, my hopes, my dreams, my I get my comfort from him, my peace and my strength from him, not from an app. An app can never ever do that for me. So be encouraged. Pray and take cover in Jesus. I keep saying that because I think it's so important and so vital. Like I said, I don't know what you're faced with. I don't know what you have to deal with, what those disasters may be in your life. But know that God is faithful and that He'll take care of you. All right, thank you. This was Life Points with Arisha.